Hey everybody, welcome to this site. Appreciate you coming on here and finding it. So this is going to be a work in progress. If you see just 10 pages of content up, probably going to have a lot more by the time I add more videos and content. I'm hoping maybe 60, 100 pages. And why do I have so much content? Well, because I'm actually doing one of the few reviews on the internet. So this is probably going to be very refreshing for everybody who's wanting a chamber and frustrated with basically all the bullshit out there, or just confusing information. There is no other site really out there that goes into, you know, how this brand compares to this brand, and it's actually unbiased. You know, all you find out there is just the same old companies basically trying to sell you in the same chamber, right? So I was just talking to a company yesterday, and you know, oh well, straps are the best thing for a chamber, you know, it's very important to have. And then I'm talking with another manufacturer, you know, you definitely don't need straps. They serve no function, and if the chamber is built well, you know, you don't. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, who should I? What should I do? And it's a $15,000 decision, so I'm going to think about it a little bit. Thank you. And of course, you're trying to sell me right on the phone there. Get me into a financing program. I don't think that I'd probably be able to pull that off anyways. Right now I'm in school, naturopathic, which I'm actually just finishing up. So, and actually it's just a little background story. So that's actually how I came across chambers. We had a research report that we had to do on alternative therapies, and I kind of stumbled across hyperbarics. So I was doing like a little bit of research already, and I was like, wow, this is incredible therapy. Autism, PTSD, Parkinson's, digestive issues, MS, everything, everybody that had any of those types of conditions were getting significant results being in the chamber. So I was like, wow, okay, there's something to this. So, but at the same time, then I started talking to these manufacturers, and I was just, I don't know, I kind of realized that if I was actually on the consumer end trying to find a chamber for my loved one or for myself or whatever, I mean, it is very confusing, let's just say. And I would even say some companies act a little cutthroat or a little sketchy. So, so a friend of mine said, you know what, why don't you just build a website? You know, if you're going to do all this work anyways, and you really want to help people, put it out there on the internet. So I was like, this is a great idea. And it might be a lot of fun too. So it actually turned into a school project in a way. So yeah, so on the site, you know, what I want to like imagine here is that there's going to be like a questionnaire that's going to be basically like a summation of my research. That if anybody comes on this site and they're trying to figure out like what's the best chamber for me, I need it for this, these are my criteria. You can take that questionnaire, and basically it kind of goes through all my research and it's going to guide you to what you need. Alternatively, you know, you can always reach out to me by email on the site, or you can give me a call. I think eventually I'll probably have an 800 number up there if you need my advice, because I will have probably put 40 to 50 hours minimum into this project. And so what kind of tests am I going to do? Well, you know, inside tests, you know, temperature, how it feels, what it's like in a warm environment in the summertime, cool environment, the thickness of the chamber, how hard it is getting in or out. And I'm also going to have other people get in and out or try these out too. It's not just going to be me. You know, people that have sorts of like hip conditions, you know, maybe it's harder for them to move around in there. Also kids, you know, if maybe a mother and child wanted to be in the chamber at the same time, which chamber sizes would be maybe best for that. All these kinds of important real world scenarios, right? That unfortunately you don't really always get to test out, you know, if you're just kind of doing research on the internet. So as much as I can be really helpful with these tests, you know, doing this for about 2 months, I'm going to be doing all sorts of different tests. It's not 2 years, you know, and it's not, you know, 5 years or 10 years of having and using a chamber. And really, it seems like to get a really thorough review, I'm going to have to get that kind of long-term information, especially if somebody's going to invest $20,000 in a chamber, you know what I mean? So I did a little bit of research, and I found that there's a few local clinics in my area. Now these clinics, if you've ever heard of these hyperbaric clinics, you can go in there, pay a pretty high amount usually after you get a prescription, get treatments. and that's one alternative instead of purchasing a chamber. But I was thinking is these guys have been doing this for 5, 10 years, 20 years, doing a ton of sessions every single day, usually have multiple brands of chamber. They have a lot of experience on durability, versatility, just function, all that kind of stuff over the long term. So I have a few appointments already set up to do some pretty thorough interviews with the people running these centers and facilitating the treatments. So that's going to give me this amazing ability to be able to look into each brand and see really down the road how these things, what kind of problems these things really have, you know, in a real world environment where these things are being used every single day for weeks, months, and years. So that's going to be invaluable, I think, for the website, and it's going to give me a lot of great content that I can pass on to you. So for tests, if anybody has any like really creative tests, you know, you want to see me, or even crazy tests, you just send me an email, submit it to the website. I'd be happy to, you know, check it out. If it's a good test, I'll do it, and post up my results on the website. And then I'll have my 800 number at some point if you need some sort of advice, you have some questions on finding the right, you know, people to buy from, essentially. You know, do you get it from Alibaba? You get that, you know, cheap thing, comes over there, there's no middleman, you just import it. Or, you know, do you go with like an old school company like OxyHealth? Hopefully I can shed some light on that. So we'll see. But hey, thanks for coming to the site, and you know, just glad I could help you out in any way I can. You know, give me good feedback if you think this review is helpful, or if you need some critical feedback, you think it's something that's missing. I would love to hear from you. So good luck to you in your search for better health for yourself or your loved one, and thanks for coming to the site.